A path has opened in front of you that did not exist last week. Not the road you mapped, not the way you assumed was final, not the detour you accepted when the original route closed. A path I built, and you are crossing the threshold right now as you hear me speak. I have been watching the journey behind you, every mile you walked when no one was clapping, every stretch where the ground was uneven and you kept moving anyway, every crossroads where you stood for longer than you wanted to admit, asking yourself which way would not break you again. I have seen each step, I have counted each one, and the path I am opening now was paved by the very steps you thought were going nowhere. So let this sentence sit in you for a moment. The blessing is not coming from somewhere far away. It is already underneath your feet. Put your hand flat against your chest right now. Just one hand, just for a breath. Feel the steady rhythm under your palm. That rhythm has been keeping time while you wondered if anything was moving at all. Something has been moving. Something has been arriving. You just could not see it from where you were standing. You looked at your journey and you saw delay. I looked at the same journey and I saw preparation. You looked at the turns you did not choose and you called them wrong. I called them necessary. You measured your progress by how far you wished you had come. I measured it by how much I have been carrying you along the way. Reflect for a moment on the difference between those two ways of seeing. One measures by what is missing, another measures by what is being formed. One stands at the end of the path and looks back with disappointment. Another stands at every milestone and gives thanks for the shape of the ground itself. One eye is yours. Another eye is the one I am inviting you to borrow. There is a kind of seeing that only contemplation makes possible, not analysis, not strategy, not the frantic counting of what remains. A patient seeing, a slow seeing, a way of looking that lets your journey become a teacher instead of a tribunal. When your journey becomes a teacher, every stretch of it carries a lesson you would not have asked for and would not now trade. When your journey becomes a tribunal, every bend becomes evidence against you. You have stood in your own courtroom long enough. Step out of it now. Outside, the path is wider than the courtroom you have been pacing. Here is the truth this contemplative pause is asking you to receive. Every step you took in the dark was teaching your feet how to walk in the light that is now rising over your path. Listen, I am blessing your life and you can begin to see it. Let that sentence travel slowly. Do not rush it. Do not argue with it. Do not run ahead of it to ask when or how. Just let it walk through you the way I have walked through your year. Consider the journey that brought you here. Consider it without flinching. Those places where you thought you had lost your direction. Those seasons where the ground felt soft and uncertain. Those days when you did not know if you could take another step. You are still walking. That alone is a miracle no one has named yet. You did not survive your way by accident. You were carried through it on purpose. There is a difference between a path you walk and a path that is walking you toward something. Most of your life you have been on the second kind without knowing it. Those footsteps you thought were random were not random. Those turns you thought were detours were not detours. Those crossroads where you stood frozen were not stalling. They were the slowing down that allowed the next part of your life to be ready for you when you arrived. You used to look at a closed door and read it as rejection. Read it again now, slowly, as the contemplative one I am asking you to become. A closed door at the wrong address is a kindness. A closed door before the wrong yes is a rescue. A blocked route that turned you back is sometimes the only way I could move you toward the path I was actually building. Reflect on this without rushing. The last time you said your life was not moving, what was moving was the architecture under your feet. What was moving was the floor of your finances being reset. What was moving was the structure of your home being quietly repaired in a layer of life that you cannot see with your eyes. The visible part is the last part to change. By the time you see it, it has already been arriving for a long time. Consider how often you have judged a journey by the part of it you could see. A path on a map looks like a single line. A path in your life is layered. Underneath the surface, there is the soil of your story. Underneath that, there is the stone of my faithfulness. Underneath that, there is the bedrock of my covenant. You have been walking on those layers without noticing them. Your next mile is not held up by your effort. Your next mile is held up by what I have placed beneath you long before you were old enough to ask. Step with that knowledge now. Step with the weight of someone who knows what they are walking on. Step lightly. Step with the freedom of one who has been carried more than they have walked. There is a particular grace in walking a path you did not choose. First time you ride a familiar route, every turn is new. Second time, that same way begins to feel like yours. Third time, you no longer brace for the bends. You begin to trust the shape of your journey. That is what is happening in you now. Those bends in your life have stopped startling you the way they once did. You have learned the shape of grace. You have learned what mine does in a season you would not have chosen. That learning is itself an inheritance. No one can take it from you. It will travel with you into every mile still ahead. I want you to notice something about your own footprints. Look at them in your imagination. Look at the long line of them that stretches back across years. Some are deep. Those are the steps you took when you were carrying more than your share. Some are uneven. Those are the steps you took when grief had taken your balance. Some are barely visible. Those are the days you were so tired you almost did not walk at all. And then look at the most recent ones. Those footprints are different. They have my handprint right beside them, not behind them anymore. Beside them. We are walking this stretch together now. Pause for one slow breath here. Do not read the next line yet. Close your eyes if you can, just for a moment, and let yourself notice that you are no longer walking alone. This path you are on is not your path alone. It is ours. Now keep going. Consider what changes when a journey belongs to two and not one. Weight is shared. Pace becomes possible. Silence between footsteps is not loneliness anymore. It is companionship. Bends do not surprise you because the one walking beside you saw them long before they arrived. Crossroads do not paralyze you because the one walking beside you will speak when speech is needed and will be silent when silence is enough. Every path has its silences. Ours has silences that are full instead of empty. You have walked enough empty silence to know the difference. Your next stretch is full. You have been so focused on what has not yet arrived that you have not noticed how much has already arrived. There is bread on your table. There is breath in your lungs. There is a roof over your head. There is a name on your heart that is not the name shame tried to give you. There is a memory of laughter that has not left you. There is a person in your life who has not given up on you, and that person is sometimes me, sometimes a friend, sometimes the part of you that keeps choosing to keep walking. All of that is blessing. All of that is the path that has been opening under your feet while you were looking at the horizon. The horizon is mine to handle. The next step is yours, and the next step is always smaller than your fear made it sound. Reflect on how often your fear has tried to make you take the whole journey at once. Fear does not understand pacing. Fear stands at the trailhead and demands you arrive at the summit before the first step. I do not work that way. I work in footsteps. I work in mornings. I work in the small unit of the present moment, which is the only unit you have actually been given. Tomorrow is not yet a path you walk. Tomorrow is a way I am still finishing. When it is ready for your feet, I will hand it to you. Until then, do not try to walk something that has not been laid down yet. You will only exhaust yourself walking an imaginary stretch and miss the real one that is opening underneath you. This is what contemplation gives back to you. pacing, patience, a capacity to be where you are, a willingness to take what is here without grasping at what is not. Most of your fatigue is not from the miles you walked. Most of your fatigue is from the routes you tried to walk in your imagination at 3 in the morning, far ahead of where your body was. Come back to your body. Come back to your step. Your blessing lives where you actually are, not where your worry has been rehearsing. I want you to remember what your journey has actually been doing for you. Those seasons of need taught you the shape of provision so that you would recognize it when it arrived. Those seasons of loneliness taught you the value of a faithful presence so that you would honor it when it stayed. Those seasons where your work felt invisible taught you the difference between approval and purpose so that you would not trade one for the other. None of your walking has been wasted. Not 1 mile, not one detour, not one bend you wished you had not had to take. A new path is opening in front of you. I am not waiting for you to deserve it. I am not testing you to see if you are ready for it. I am offering it because the time has come to offer it. Your way is becoming wider. Your way is becoming kinder. Your way is becoming clearer. And the first sign that it is changing is how the noise in your mind is beginning to quiet down even before circumstances change. Notice that the inner journey always changes first. Your outer journey is the last to show what your inner journey has already received. Many seasons of your life have begun in this exact way. A quiet settling in your chest before the bills changed. A patient stillness in your heart before the diagnosis improved. A new clarity in your thinking before the door opened. Your inner walking and your outer walking are connected by a wire most people never trace. You can trust the inner first, outer follows. Each footstep you take inside is the footstep that prepares the ground outside to receive you. Pause to feel that connection now. Your inner walking has already taken the step. Your outer walking is catching up. The blessing is not waiting for the calendar. The blessing is waiting for you to recognize that you have already moved. If these words are landing in you, leave the word path in the comments, not for me. For your own commitment to letting this contemplation continue inside you when the screen goes dark, leave it as a footprint of this moment. Leave it as a marker on the way you are crossing right now. Now lean into what comes next. Lean into it without bracing. I want you to consider how much of your worry has been about a future you have not yet been given to walk. You keep trying to live in tomorrow with the resources of today. Of course you feel small. Of course you feel tired. You were never meant to carry a path you are not yet walking. I will give you the strength for each milestone when each milestone arrives. Not before, not stockpiled, not in a way you can save for later. Strength comes with the step. So return to the step in front of you, that one small thing you can actually do, that one phone call, that one prayer, that one act of kindness toward yourself, that one closure you have been postponing, that one beginning you have been afraid to claim. Your way opens to those who place their foot down and let me handle the question of where it leads. Whisper this back to me right now if you can. Slowly. Say it like you mean it, even if you're not sure you mean it yet. I am blessing your life, and you can begin to see it. Hear it in my voice. Let it become your voice. The mantra is not a chant. It is a turning of the head, a turning of the heart, until you are facing the direction where the blessing has been all along. Notice what happens when you say it. Notice the resistance that rises. Notice the part of you that wants to argue, the part that wants to list everything that contradicts it, the part that wants to demand evidence before agreeing. That part has kept you alive in some seasons. I am not angry with that part, but I'm inviting that part to sit down for a moment and let the rest of you remember what is also true. Both can be present at once. You can hold the difficulty and still let the blessing walk beside it. This is what contemplation does. It does not deny the path that hurt you. It widens the way so that what hurt and what heals can be held in the same hands, yours and mine, yours and mine. There is a kind of milestone you have not been counting, a kind that no one will ever congratulate you for. That day you forgave someone in private and never told them. That hour you kept your word when no one was watching. That minute you chose silence instead of the cutting word that was on your tongue. That moment you got back up after a fall no one saw. These are the milestones I am counting. These are the markers on your journey that I have been keeping for you, and the blessing I am bringing is not unrelated to them. My blessing is shaped exactly to fit who those milestones have made you. Consider this slowly. You have been thinking the blessing was a thing apart from you, a package mailed from somewhere else, an arrival from outside your life. My blessing is not separate from you. My blessing is the harvest of the path you have already walked. It carries the shape of your patience. It carries the texture of your faithfulness. It carries the depth of your endurance. A gift handed to a different person would not fit. A gift handed to who you were 5 years ago would have been too large for the has you had then. It would have fallen through. Your walking has built the hands. Those hands are now ready. That is why the blessing can arrive. Do you see how nothing has been wasted? Do you see how the walk and the gift are made of the same thread? Do you see how the one who built the way is the same one who carries the gift on it, and the same one walking with you toward the moment when the two meet inside your own life? Sit with that picture. Let it become contemplative inside you. Path, walker, gift, giver. 4 points that look like 4. One arrangement that has always been 1. Mine. You have grown more than you know. You have grown into someone who can hold a blessing without it deforming you. Earlier in your life, a gift of this size would have made you proud. Now it makes you humble. Earlier in your life, this kind of provision would have made you forget who provided it. Now it makes you turn your face toward me with thanks. Your journey has done its work. Your journey has prepared the receiver. I do not bless to perform a miracle. I bless to fulfill a promise. The miracle is the door. The promise is what is on the other side of it. Sit with that. Let it become contemplative in you. A miracle is not the destination. A miracle is the threshold I have walked you to. Beyond that threshold is the life I have always intended for you. Not a perfect life, not a life without weather, a life with me at the center of it. A life where the walking and the walker and the destination all belong to the same hand, mine. That same hand that has been holding yours longer than you have known how to hold it back. Notice how the noise has begun to recede. Notice how something inside you has begun to settle. That settling is not the absence of your problems. That settling is the presence of the one who has been with you in your problems all along. Your journey has not changed in the last 5 minutes. You have changed within it in the last 5 minutes. That is what contemplation does. It does not move the mountain. It changes the eyes of the one looking at the mountain until the mountain becomes a milestone. So let me tell you what is on the path ahead. Not a forecast. Not a promise dressed up as a prediction. A presence. I am on the path ahead. I am already standing at the next turn. I am already at the crossroads you have not reached yet, waiting for you with the answer already in my hand. You will not arrive there and find it empty. You will arrive there and find me, and the question you have been carrying will dissolve in my presence the way mist dissolves when the morning warms the field. What lies ahead is not a journey you have to discover alone. It is a way I have walked already in your direction. Every turn it takes was rehearsed in love before you ever began. Every milestone was placed in mercy long before you ever asked. Every crossroads was anticipated with patience long before you ever feared. This is a kind of path only a father builds for a child he has been thinking about since before the child existed. You have been thought of for that long. Do not let any voice tell you otherwise. Contemplate that for a quiet beat. You have been thought of since before there was a path, since before there was time enough to measure journeys, since before there was any need for walking at all. And your journey now is not your interruption, it is your invitation. Your way has always been a way home, not a way away. Walk it that way now. Walk it as one going somewhere good, not as one fleeing somewhere bad. Posture changes the pace. Pace changes the experience. Your experience becomes the testimony you will one day give to someone else still standing at the fork, wondering which way to turn. Receive the bread that is already on your table. Receive the work of your hands being multiplied even when you cannot see the multiplying yet. Receive the renewed creativity I am placing in you so that the next chapter of your life is not a repetition of the last. Receive the wisdom that lets you spend what you earn with peace instead of fear. Receive those relationships being reordered around you, ones that are leaning toward your journey instead of trying to pull you off it. Receive the strength returning to a part of your body you had stopped expecting to feel strong again. Receive the prayer your loved one has been quietly praying for you in a room you have never seen. Receive the door opening in a place you stopped knocking on years ago. Receive all of it, not by reaching, by opening. Consider how different receiving is from earning. Earning leans forward. Receiving lets the hand fall open in the lap. Earning measures itself by the visible exchange. Receiving trusts the invisible giver. You have been on the earning path long enough. Earning is not the wrong way for some seasons of life, but it is not the way that leads to this kind of blessing. This kind of blessing arrives on the receiving way, and the only requirement of receiving is the openness of the hand. You can practice that right now. Notice the hand that is not holding this device. Let it relax. Let it fall open. Let it be the posture of your whole life for the next breath. That is the posture of a traveler who has learned where the blessing actually comes from. A hand that opens receives. A hand that grips holds only what it can wring out of itself. You have wrung enough. Open the hand. Open the way. Open the day to what I have been quietly placing inside it. Hear the words one more time, but slower. The blessing is not arriving. The blessing has arrived. Seeing is the only part still on its way, and seeing is what contemplation gives you. You are not waiting for the blessing. You are waiting for your eyes to catch up. Let your eyes catch up. The path you are on is wider than the path your fear has been describing. The provision you are carrying is greater than the provision your scarcity has been counting. The love that has been walking beside you is closer than the love your loneliness has been measuring. None of these are far. All of them are here. The contemplative posture is what allows you to receive what proximity has been offering all along. You are not behind. You are not late. You are not lost. You are on a path I have been building for you, in a season I have been preparing you for. With strength I have been quietly multiplying in your hands while you slept. Your blessing is your journey, and your journey is leading you home, not to a place, to me, to a kind of life where you no longer have to choose between honesty and hope, because both are walking with you now. Stay on this way, even when it bends, even when it climbs, even when it crosses a valley that asks more of you than feels fair. Stay on it, because every step you take from here is a step taken inside the blessing I have spoken. Nothing can undo what I have said over your life. Nothing in the past, nothing in the present, nothing that has not yet been written. My word stands at every crossroads as a promise that none of them are dead ends. So lift your eyes for a moment. Just lift them. Look at the path in front of you, not the one behind. Behind you is finished. Dust there is settled. That chapter is closed. In front of you is a way that did not exist last week. A path I built. A path I am walking with you. A path where bread is on the table, where strength returns to the legs, where the family you love is being held in the same hand that is holding you. Amen. If this contemplation reached the path in you, stay here. Subscribe to keep walking like this so another tired walker finds it.